Part 1. Introduction. Today, I'm supposed to learn how to play golf. Dietrich Bonhoeffer to his brother Carl Friedrich Bonhoeffer, from Philadelphia, 1930. Chapter 1. Meeting Bonhoeffer. I believe that nothing meaningless has happened to me, and also that it is good for us when things run counter to our desires. I see a purpose in my present existence, and only hope that I fulfill it. Dietrich Bonhoeffer. On a hot summer's day in July 1939, Dietrich Bonhoeffer stepped off the steamship Bremen and onto the docks of New York City's harbor. The harbor was busy that year. New York City was playing host to the World's Fair, an event altogether eclipsed by the tensions of the pending World War. By September, a United States Navy fleet had moved in to protect the harbor, and mines had been placed along the coast in fear of a German submarine attack. Bonhoeffer knew all too well the tension. He had lived with much worse for some time, and was now on his way to America to escape. Bonhoeffer had been to the United States before. His first trip had come 9 years earlier. Already with a doctorate in hand, Bonhoeffer thought he might benefit from studying American theological developments firsthand before settling into his faculty position at Berlin. So off he went to spend a year at Union Seminary in New York. During that first stay, he had forged deep friendships. One of those friends, Reinhold Niebuhr of Union's faculty, now led the way in arranging for Bonhoeffer's second trip to America. Niebuhr hurriedly posted letters to his academic colleagues throughout America to cobble together a lecture tour for Bonhoeffer, in part to fund his stay, and in part to shake out a more substantial and permanent teaching offer. At 33 years of age, and with an impressive list of accomplishments already, Bonhoeffer had a bright career ahead of him. Bonhoeffer, though, would elude Niebuhr's efforts. The moment Bonhoeffer stepped off the ship, he knew that he had made a mistake. He belonged back in Germany. His diary bears the record. "The decision has been made. I have made a mistake in coming to America," he wrote to Niebuhr. "I must live through this difficult period in our national history with the Christian people of Germany." To their mutual friend Paul Lehmann, Bonhoeffer wrote, "I must be with my brothers when things become serious." Bonhoeffer anticipated that Germany would survive the war. He also realized that the German church, like the nation itself, would need to be rebuilt. After all, how could he play a role in rebuilding the church if he abandoned it during its hour of deepest need? No, he could not stay in America. Writing to Lehmann, Niebuhr could only say of Bonhoeffer's decision, "I do not understand it at all." Who can understand Bonhoeffer's decision? What kind of person would be more at ease in facing down a totalitarian regime on the brink of destruction than conducting a college lecture tour in a free and democratic society an ocean away from the tumult and wreckage of war? What's more, this was no isolated decision, no adrenaline-charged heroism. Dietrich Bonhoeffer's willingness to return to Germany, his willingness to face Hitler and the Nazi regime, ultimately his willingness to die, all stemmed from a deeply honed reflex. He could no more walk away from Germany in 1939, when he had opportunity to do so, than you or I can stop our hearts from beating. To understand Bonhoeffer's decision in the dog days of a New York summer of 1939, you need to understand Bonhoeffer. We should not take this episode as evidence of Bonhoeffer's heroism. The impulse is understandable, even tempting, but would be a misunderstanding. The letters and his diary point in an entirely different direction. This was no act of blazoned courage. Rather, his decision reveals a brash faith. See him as humble, not heroic. See him as dependent upon God. As he writes in his diary, "God certainly sees how much personal concern, how much fear is contained in today's decision, as courageous as it may appear. At the end of the day, I can only pray that God will hold merciful judgment over this day and all decisions. It is now in God's hands."